now.
Oh, I see how it is.
Living in Melbourne, enjoying life, a mate hanging out.
Wait a minute.
This is...
Are you okay?
A mate hanging out. This is our average life. Doing a podcast. Talking shit.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for asking.
All right.
This is my world.
Something wrong?
Sorry. You clearly did your homework from last episode. Like, that was my one job I wanted you to do, and you did it.
I mean, to be fair, that's what I did. I did it right before we started, and
Okay,
then you know
good.
how I said I needed to fix a couple of things.
That was the
It's
thing.
because I didn't know. I for some reason I had it in my head that Audacity works like Vegas, and you can just scroll over, and that audio is the audio that you're exporting.
Yes.
But no, it's not. It doesn't work like that. Why would I think it works like that? I know it doesn't work like that, but I just kind of. So I was So I'm like, yep, this part of it. Yep, done. This part of it, done.
Yep, done. Dunsky.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anyway, yes, Jackson. Yes, I didn't want to ruin it, but
Disappointed!
wait, that's not the right one. That's the one that was already on the soundboard. This is the one I had to make.
Disappointed!
I love that. I absolutely love that. Thank you so
That's
much.
good. I'm glad.
It's just an intense
Wait a
clip.
minute.
This isn't my world.
This isn't my world. Disappointed!
All right, yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I remember it, and I remember it from ages ago. So yeah, the
You've got a
reason
loop.
why
Sorry.
it took me a bit more time because I had to go back and fix it is because I separated it out. So now I've got.
Wait a minute. Disappointed! This
A
isn't
separate-
my world. This isn't my world.
Just
Wait
like
a minute.
Why do I care?
it's just the best.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not disappointed at all. I'm quite satisfied.
That's good.
Welcome back to a disappointing episode of the Average Blokes podcast. Because this isn't our world.
That's right.
What the hell do you care? Get
That has to be from South Park. That sounds like a South Park. South Park? Yeah, South Park.
I didn't do it properly with this one, so it's stuck. I think. Let me check.
Yes. Hey,
Yeah, that's annoying. Oh, well.
before we continue on, I want to mention, hey everyone, we are now streaming our live episodes, so feel free to check out the channel on YouTube. Just search up Average Blokes Podcast. I'm sure it'll be the first one. If the Alpha Blokes come up first, I'm going to be awfully disappointed.
I bet. Oh, it probably will.
So, anyway.
Maybe that's why we're not getting so many viewers. It's because the name's too similar.
It's annoying because those stupid Alpha Blokes keep coming up on my Facebook feed, and I'm like, disappointed.
Wait, in what are they just coming up randomly, or when you search?
Yeah,
for
just
something
for
like
the
us?
just for the For You page, your feed page.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's weird that they're coming up for you.
Yeah.
Somehow I figured out how to remove it from my Spotify.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know how, but they don't come up on my Spotify anymore, which I'm quite happy with.
Congratulations.
I've got other crap coming up, like random D&D things, because I've listened to D&D podcasts and whatnot.
Yeah, okay. Well then, we'll get on to podcasts later on. But in the meantime, do you have any highlights?
Yes, I do have no, sorry, hold on. I do have highlights.
Do you have disappointments?
Sorry, I was reading because I'm trying to figure out how to do something. Give me 2 seconds and I will tell you, because I wrote a little list.
Oh, a list. He has a list.
Ah, that was the problem. I put the wrong one. There we go. Let me do that and then delete that. Ah, excellent. Because now I've got this.
Oh man, they took his job. They took
They took a damn
They took his dog. They broke it down. They broke his dog. They broke his dog.
Of all the running gags in South Park, that is the best one by far. Like,
Yes.
Oh, I remember the one. I can't remember if it was in a movie or an early episode during one of the earlier seasons. But
Yeah.
there was the Canadians and no, it was the Canadians. I can't remember. There was a particular race of people coming into that area and stealing, working in a certain industry or something.
Oh,
And
I
those
see what you
same-
mean. Yes.
Those same guys did that same thing. They took on dibs.
I gotta find. So there was one here. Let me just.
So funny.
I think it was here. Give me 2 seconds. Keep going. Why don't you go through your highlights first?
Yeah, okay. So highlights. Well, besides enjoying the short 3-day working week,
Yes.
my highlight is that it's my daughter's 4th birthday coming up. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is, on Sunday, I'm flying off to Darwin for work for a week.
Wait, you're going to Darwin?
I'm
I
going
didn't know
to.
you were going to Darwin.
Yeah. So,
Lovely.
never been there before. I've been to Northern Territory before, but only Ayers Rock and Alice Springs.
Oh,
So I'm excited to see what Darwin's like, because then it's the only other city I haven't really been to. Like, I've been to Sydney, but like the airport doesn't really count as the city. So, yeah. So yeah, I checked the weather because obviously I'm like, okay, it's near the equator. It's usually quite warm regardless of what time of year. And I checked the weather and it's gonna be like 30 degrees all week. So I'm like, oh, goody. That's
Lovely.
gonna be great. Yeah, lovely traveler.
Oh, that sounds absolutely fantastic.
So yeah, but the place I'm staying at has got a nice outdoory pool looking setup. So I will
That's
be
good. At least you can go for a swim, maybe.
yeah if I get around to it, I guess. But yeah, because I'm gonna be just working longish days because I want to pump out hours and just get jobs done so I can maybe have a shorter days and some others. But anyway, so yeah, it's gonna be a 4-hour flight roughly from Melbourne to Darwin. So yeah, I'm gonna be bored for tears, but I'll take my Switch with me on board, so that'll be somewhat useful.
I'm surprised your work's making you go to Darwin of all places.
Yeah, it's because we're not as busy as we usually are this time of year. So I mean, I haven't
Okay.
been there.
Okay, yeah, but like, what? I get that you're not as busy, but Darwin.
Yeah.
they
Well, the
find
other
the work-
states, the closer
just
states
don't
are a bit busier.
I just don't understand why. Like, surely there's people they can test and tag places in, like there or like same thing
Yeah, I
with
don't-
Tasmania.
I don't know, because the contracts. I don't know. It's all about the contracts and how they've got set up. I have no idea how that works, but anyway.
Because we got people that come to us, but like I get Jim's test and tagging does us.
Jim Blow, yeah.
In fact, I went to the warehouse the other day and saw him there, and I was like, oh, hey, how you going? You want to do my tools while you're at it?
Yeah.
But he already did them like a couple of weeks prior, so there was no point.
Yeah. So the other thing is, so since I've gone to Darwin next week, I fly home from like on Friday midnight.
You're
so,
basically doing fly in, fly out. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but not on a regular basis. But yeah, because I fly back on the Friday at midnight, and I touched back down in Melbourne about just before 5 o'clock or after 5 o'clock. So yeah, I'm gonna have a weird ass day next Saturday. But today I went and voted early for the federal election. So
Oh, lovely. Who'd you vote for?
I voted one.
I voted one.
I'm gonna leave you on a cliffhanger. You'll find
I
out who I
voted
vote
one.
for after the election.
Good on you for voting one.
Yeah, just one.
So who was your number 2 then?
I voted 2. You'll never guess who I voted 3.
I spoke to a friend of mine today about, because I'm like, the Liberals are promising that 25% fuel thing, and I'm sitting there going, like, I know it affects a lot of people, but well, for you and me, I'm like, I don't care. I got a company car. Like,
exactly.
they pay for fuel. I don't give a shit about the fuel prices.
No, that's right.
But I was like, well, maybe I should talk to someone who actually pays for fuel.
Yeah,
Like, so I
our
spoke-
wives.
Well, no, they don't really count to that degree because they don't do. Well, maybe your wife, but my wife doesn't do as much driving anymore because she's
Yeah,
at
that's
home with
fair.
Axel.
That's true.
But,
I guess, yeah.
But I spoke to my mate James, and like, I'm like, oh yeah, who are you voting for? And he goes, I'm not sure. Probably One Nation. And
What?
And I go, I wanted to ask you about. And he goes, his brother-in-law voted for the Liberals because his brother-in-law's got a business now, and they want to raise the amount you can claim for like tools and stuff.
Taxes.
Yeah, from
and get your money back.
20,000 to 30,000.
Right.
And
okay.
and he goes, but James goes, I don't think Declan, I don't think he understood. I don't think he understands how
it works.
he's under the impression. It's like he thinks he's going to get all the money back. Like that's the way he was talking about it. Like he was going to get it all back or something, because it's only a
not how it
percentage and all
works.
that.
Yeah.
But he early voted for the Liberals. And I said to James, "Oh, what do you think about the whole fuel thing?" And he goes, "Oh, it doesn't really matter because it's not really a tax. Like I'm like, yeah, it's not really a tax on us. It's a tax on the fuel companies, and they might not necessarily even pay it back to us, or we might not even get it back." And he goes, "Yeah, like, have you noticed they've actually put the prices up a little bit?"
Oh, okay.
So he reckons they're going to put the prices up and then drop them back down if the Liberals get in, once the thing comes in. And he's not, and he goes, it's not, and I'm not interested, like, it's a short-term thing. They'll do it for a little while, but they won't do it for long or anything.
Long run, yeah.
They're not going to do anything helpful. So he wasn't sure who to vote for. I told him he should, judging by him and his situation, all that, he should probably vote for Family First. Or One Nation, because they both have the same policy about like single household, single parent, not single parents, but single income households, which heavily applies to him. So
of course,
but it's I figured I'd ask him about it. And it's a shame. It's a shame we couldn't. In fact, I'll check my phone now. I don't think Phil got back to me, which is fair enough.
That's all good.
What kind of questions did you want to ask him? That's what I'm curious.
Well, so I had semi-serious questions because I do listen to a little bit of political podcasts. I mean, Chaser, they're very satirical, but a lot of their main topics are related around politicians and government stuff. So I've got a fair understanding of what questions to ask. I had like a really silly question, which I don't know if it's above board for him, but like one of the joking questions was.
That's why I figured if you could figure out what questions you could ask on this podcast, you're not really asking.
Yeah,
since he's not really here, it doesn't really affect anything per se.
No, that's right. And so the question I was going like one of the silly questions I was going to ask was, do you have to play the trumpet to be part of the party?
That's a good one.
Thank you. Like, because this is the problem. Like, yeah, you ask about the policies and all the whatnot, the campaign and trail and all that stuff, but
it's a goofy name, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
It's such a goofy name.
It's only because old mate Clive Palmer wants to like bring the Trump like misinformation
is that what it's meant
stuff.
To be? Is it meant to be sounding like Trump? He went with trumpet of patriots.
Yes, correct.
I thought it was just because originally the Liberal Party were United Australia Party or something.
No.
I thought it was some sort of legality to do with the name.
Nah.
Because I think it's either got to do with the fact that there's a guy who's currently still in for the United, like there's one guy who represents the United Australia Party, and because he's not part of their party anymore, they can't use that name. I'm guessing
it's possible, yeah.
But I don't know.
But anyway, so because I've been seeing a few of their billboards up and now, so I'm like, I'm like, how soon do I see Phil?
You may or may not. It depends.
No, I don't think he'd be on the front cover.
But yeah, it was interesting that he told me, like he had to run it through his. I don't even know if he's allowed what I'm allowed to say now, but he said PR team and all that stuff, and,
which is ridiculous.
I know. I'm sitting there going, but there's
Well, you better not have any fun questions. Oh, gee, you better not ask about. Because the problem is, though, they try to protect the image, which is really ridiculous considering the person who's at the leading of the party is full of absolute nonsense.
Yeah, I looked into him a little bit more because I already know what I've heard and stuff like that. And I heard the thing about how he didn't play his employees or something. And the funny thing is, he really is basically the Trump of Australia. He even has his own golf course.
Yeah, and he's got dinosaurs on him. And
their net worths are very similar.
Yeah, he's got like Jurassic dinosaurs on that golf course too, if it's the one I think it is.
It's I think a Gold Coast one or something.
Yeah.
But get this, one thing I looked up, right, is that apparently, so I don't know of some sort of agreement with his one of his mining companies or something went south with the government or something, but his company is actually suing the Commonwealth of Australia
Yes.
for 200 and something,
Million dollars.
$290 billion.
Oh, I think it's million. But I know.
No,
I
it's
think
bill. No,
I think
it's
it's
sorry,
million.
it's million. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, it would have to be. No, it's billion. I'm pretty sure.
In what world?
It's. I think it might be billion.
I'm pretty sure it's a million, but yeah, okay.
I mean, I looked it up on Wikipedia.
It's
So.
not worth that much. This nonsense isn't worth that much.
All right, let's see here. Let's have a look at the Wikipedia because Wikipedia is always correct.
Usually, 9 times out of 10.
I honestly, business career, I think it was in blah blah blah.
Because another thing too, like going on his business stuff that he did back in 2000 when was it, 2010, 2011, or might have been, yeah, I'm gonna say it was then, or maybe just before. The same guy, Clive Palmer, he owned a professional soccer team in Gold Coast.
Yeah, I saw that he had an FC team in Gold Coast. He
Yeah,
owned them.
Gold Coast United, and like, because there was a certain sponsorship he couldn't find, so he just put freedom of speech as as a shirt.
Maybe
for
was
the
he had
team.
financial problems? No. Blah blah blah.
But yeah, and then another thing too is like with this campaign, he's got this video which is dated like 20 years ago, and it's this Danish professor guy who's trying to claim that climate change isn't real, and it's just an open source YouTube video, so like anyone can watch it and claim it. But he's using it as part of his political campaign trail. It's to like, fight against climate change. It doesn't even exist. And the poor bloke who's in the video, who did the videos, gets all this unwanted attention. So,
Oh, lovely. All right, here we go. So it was Singapore-based company Zeph Investments filed a notice of arbitration suing the Commonwealth of Australia for 296 billion AUD.
oh, right, sure.
Over alleged loss of contractual entitlement, moral damages, and sovereign
Moral.
risk.
Huge morals.
He's got huge moral damage.
Huge moral damage.
I might vote for them. We'll see. They're definitely going further up than some other parties I can think of.
Yeah, like the Cannabis Party.
Oh no, honestly they'd go for, if they were in the Senate. I would totally vote for someone in the Senate for the Cannabis Party.
See, the last
100%.
federal election, I remember during the voting, there was like that top line, sorry. There used to be a party in each box, but this year there seems to be like 2 or 3 boxes that are just empty. So I'm not sure if some of the major parties are dropped out or there's some that have been removed or whatnot.
Was Family First in it?
Family First was there, yes. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure
good,
from
yeah.
memory.
Yeah,
'cause
because
I voted-
I remember looking at their policies last election and they looked interesting, but they weren't a major party then, or they didn't have anyone for the Senate.
Yeah.
It was only
Yeah.
the House. Wait, is the Senate the one with
Just
just a
the
couple
House.
of people, or is it which has got the whole massive group of all the different electoral areas?
That's a good question.
I should
I'm
know.
not
I
sure.
looked it
Yeah.
up. I looked it up the other day.
The Senate or the Upper House? I think Upper House is state. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
One of those two.
I will look it up real quick because I probably should definitely know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, not the Senate. The Senate is the one where like all the different areas, like Casey, Latrobe,
electorates.
Yeah, electorates. That's where all the That's where all the people you vote for go to the Senate.
Yeah, it's really annoying too. Is that
The House is the other one.
The electric map is very confusing because when you type in your suburb, like from one example,
No, it's not that
there's-
confusing. York is confused because your council is Cardinia, and your
Yeah, no.
electorate is electric boogaloo. Your electorate is something different. Like so,
Yes.
wait, no, so you're Casey, we're Cardinia.
No, we're not Casey.
You're not. You're not Casey the electorate. You're Casey
Yes.
the council.
Council, yes, sorry,
and I'm
yes.
Cardinia the council, but we're Latrobe in the
Yes, we're
electorate.
also Latrobe.
And yes, I noticed it's a bit confusing at places because when I saw like that Phil was going to be for Casey, I was like, oh, that's Jackson's area, and then
Does
I
he
looked
live
it
in
up and I was
Casey,
like,
though?
that's not Casey's area.
I could have sworn he doesn't live there.
I don't think so at the moment. I think he's posted something about moving back or something.
Because that's what
Probably
I
if he
thought,
gets
though.
in.
Because the only way you can run an electric is if you actually lived in the area.
I mean, he might have moved from last time I saw him.
Hmm. Well, I
But
mean,
no,
yeah.
you can run outside of the area.
Okay.
Out the guy who was with us, the guy who we had for the Liberals, Jason Woods. He claims that he lived like in Latrobe, but I don't think he did originally.
This is the guy who was a former bricklayer who wasn't really a qualified bricklayer.
No, I think that was the
No, was
Labor
it-
guy before that, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
It may have been no. Apparently, he used to be a cop.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember
Oh,
correctly.
yes. He looks like a former cop.
He does look like a police officer.
Yeah. Which is
Why do the former police officers always go bold?
and why did they end up going to politics?
Yeah, because I
Like
think
Peter
the
Dutton was a
I think-
former Queensland cop.
I think the One Nation guy, the guy who's running for One Nation here, he is also a former police officer.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
But I said to Courtney, he looks like a mafia boss in the photo, and I was like, he looks like an Italian mafia boss. And then we looked at it, and he's apparently was from South America or something.
Oh, okay. Just as bad. Allegedly.
Yeah, we made. What was the joke we made? It was something about, he's not a mafia boss, he's a drug cartel.
Yes. Spicy drug cartels.
He honestly looked like the way he's dressed up. He looks like he's disappointed. You have offended my family. And the guy's got I thought he also has. Well, I thought it was an Italian name, but yeah, it turns out it was South American or something.
Okay. Like Rodriguez or Hernandez or
Yeah, it was like one of those. Not quite that.
Lopez.
Not quite that stereotypical, but yeah, it was a name. It was a name that I thought was an Italian name at first. So there you go.
Giorgino or something stupid. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah. Because there was a part of
My name is
like-
Giovanni Giorgio, but everyone calls me Giorgio.
That is a song. I forgot that,
What?
that it
It's
does
a great
exist.
song. It's a Daft Punk
exists.
song.
That's right.
It's one of the greatest songs of all time. It's up
Just like
there with
Jimmy-
Gundam Style.
Just like Jimmy Ricard.
Do you want to sing Jimmy Ricard?
All I know is that Jimmy Ricard.
Jimmy Ricard.
Something rather, because he thinks he's an asshole. That's all I remember.
I love that song. That was a great song.
It's funny because I didn't know it was made in Australia.
Yeah, it's up there with Cosby Sweater.
And then Jimmy Carr claimed that someone made the song for him, but they didn't.
Ooh, Jimmy Ricard.
Something about a
Is
bastard
it the
thinking he's
same-
an asshole.
Is it the same? No, it's not the same people that did both those songs, is it?
I don't know.
You know, Cosby Sweater.
Oh yes.
Wearing that
no,
Cosby
I think
Sweater.
Cosby Sweater is that group from Hilltop
Yeah.
Hoods, I think.
Yeah, is it Hilltop Hoops? Did they do? No, who did Jimmy Ricard?
No, it was
Or
some random solo artist group,
Okay.
I think.
It's very similar style, like
Yeah.
Australian rap style.
Yes, hip hop. Hippity hop. That's what it would have been. Because
anyway,
Adelaide,
yeah.
the Hilltop Hoods are from Adelaide, and that's. I think like outside of that, I can't think of any other yeah.
Adelaide is very fartsy artsy.
Outside of outside of the Hilltop Hoods, I can't think of any other hip hop bands in Australia that are big-ish.
There is
Morally big.
another, but I can't think of them right now. There's a couple that I know, like I've listened to in the past. In fact, is Hilltop Hoods is Australian? Yes. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of someone. That British band, that British group. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Jackson, my highlights of the week is.
Ooh, highlights.
My highlights, yes, is croissants. Courtney got some croissants, so we're having them. I've been eating like ham and cheese croissants for lunch every day
Yum. So good.
after I get home from work.
Lovely.
I've got here. I made the little South Park thing. I made the
Disappointed. Wait a
no,
minute.
this.
What the hell do you care? Get off the wrestling mat! Boo! Why do I care? These kids made it so real wrestling is gone from schools. It's practically gone from the culture. Damn it, they took my job.
Oh, then they go into they took your job.
No, I think is this the.
Oh man, they took your job.
No, there we go.
There was. Did it finish? There was another one I wanted to add, which was really.
They took his job.
Let me just read. But yeah, doing the South Park thing because I really wanted to get around to doing that South Park one.
Yeah, okay.
And then my other highlight is guess who watched one fight because it was on of WrestleMania.
You watched a
That's
one
right.
fight?
I watched a match.
Who did you watch?
I don't know. I forgot their names. The guy gets on stage and he's like,
Yeah.
he's a bit smaller than the other guy, a bit skinnier, and it was like his first, not his first fight, but it's like his first attempt at taking down this guy or this thing. And he comes on stage and he's like this. He's like,
Okay.
like he does his eyes like he's staring.
Was he
and
wearing
then-
a mask?
No, the both guys were fully clothed, right? And,
I
it
know
was
who
like
you're
the
watching.
shortest match ever. In fact, I said to Courtney,
Wait,
because they were doing
sure.
the whole round thing, and I go to Courtney, let's just watch it. Let's watch until they like do something that's actually kind of cool.
Right.
And then like we watched another after they started actually wrestling. About 2 minutes in, he was out.
Oh, was that Joe Hendry and Randy Orton? You said it was like
Maybe.
2 minutes.
Maybe it was the shortest thing ever. The guy
Was he doing? Was his intro like this? Was the dude doing this?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like that. I think. Yeah, he was doing that. Yeah, and he did it a couple of times. He's doing
You
the
watched, so
face. Yeah, it was this. It was that face.
you got to watch Joe Hendry face off against Randy Orton. That's hilarious.
I just thought it was quite funny because I said to Courtney like that was at the very end. I was like, you see that was brilliantly planned and brilliant.
That's amazing
camera,
that you-
and that was brilliant camera work because the guy.
Yes.
It looks like he's won. He's like staring, and next thing you know, these hands come out of nowhere because it zooms in on him. These hands just come out of nowhere,
Yes.
and he
Gets RKO'd. Yeah.
he gets RKO'd, whatever that is.
It's a RKO stands for Randy Keith Orton, but it just also stands for random knockout, basically.
Yeah, because he's
the-
just. It looks like he's won. He's beaten the other guy. They haven't slammed the thing yet, but he's standing there. The other guy's not moving. Then the camera zooms into his face and shows he just get his head taken away. And
so
then
how
it
did you-
ended. And then he lands on the ground. And they come over and they're like,
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking. What? I mean, yeah, that was good camera work with the. That was good planning. They zoomed on his face and showed the other guy dramatically come in.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, that was so dumb.
Yeah, that's so. Joe Hendry, that's his gimmick. That's his like, because he was a viral guy to start off with, and then he slowly made his way up to where he's now. So he's currently the TNA World Champion. But the whole reason why this has sort of come about was because Randy Orton.
Yeah, he was-
He was supposed to face an opponent, another opponent, but that guy apparently had a bad neck injury, and people were like, "Oh, was it really an injury?" So it turns out it really was an injury. So that guy couldn't make it. So it was kind of made up on the fly that okay, let's get this guy in. It makes perfect sense. He gets his moment, and the Randy Orton gets his 20th WrestleMania match. And
So
yeah.
is Randy Orton the guy who was doing the faces, or
No, Joe Hendry was the guy who did the face. Who were like.
okay, yeah. So which one of them was like had won some sort of like was the best in some sort of field?
Yeah,
Was it the
TNA.
guy-
So he was the TNA World Champion.
Who was that? The guy
He
doing
is.
the faces or the other guy?
Yes, the note got on the faces.
Yeah, that's what it's. I thought so because I'm sitting there
Yeah.
going like, what's he's world champion of what? What is that?
Yeah,
Like I have
yes.
no idea.
It's a different.
And I'm sitting there wait, the world champion lost, and I'm sitting there going, how's this guy gonna beat the big dude?
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense because WWE had recently did a partnership deal with TNA, so they can do like inter-promotion matches, which is like you bring a guy from this promotion, aka
Yeah.
WWE, and you send them to TNA, and it kind of what happens, it boosts up TNA viewership because they go, oh, there's a WWE guy at TNA, that's going to be
Yeah.
exciting to watch.
So what's
And,
TNA? Some
It's
sort of
total
other
non-stop
wrestling.
action. It's total
Oh,
non-stop
I've
action
heard of
wrestling.
that. Yes.
And so, basically, Joe Hendry, because he's built his way up to where he's got a great fame. Like he's well known, he's viral. Everyone knows who he is. He's a really good wrestler too. Like he gets it. He knows what to do. But he's made a few appearances on WWE before. First ever one he made up was there was a wrestler, or still is a wrestler called Rusev, and he was a Bulgarian guy. So there was one instance on episode of Raw back in 2013 or 14 where this same guy who was wrestling against Randy Orton played the on-screen lawyer of this Bulgarian guy, and so he's Scottish, but he had to fake a Russian accent for the bit, and he
My goodness.
But and then obviously he's worked his way to TNA, and because of this partnership with WWE and TNA, they can mix and match. Because Joe Hendry, his dream match is against John Cena, who is in his final farewell tour type thing.
Yeah, I heard that they were going to have
Yeah.
John Cena. He was going to face someone or something.
Yeah, so. Yeah, well, I'm really happy you watched a bit of like the WrestleMania. That's so funny. Do you remember what the other match was?
Don't get what was that?
Do you remember what the other match was, or was that the only one you watched?
That was the only one. I only watched one.
Oh, damn.
I told you. I just clicked onto Prime and it said it was showing the WrestleMania. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll play that.
Prime.
Yeah, it was on Prime or Netflix, one or the other.
Oh, it would have been Netflix. It wouldn't have been on
But
Prime.
I clicked on it and I was like, let's watch it. Let's see what's going on. And then yeah, that's what it opened up to. Right as he was walking on stage, I'm like, what
Yeah.
the heck? And I go, Courtney, don't worry, Courtney, we'll turn it off once they start doing wrestling. And then once they started, it finished pretty quickly afterwards. So
Yeah,
I was like, all
yeah.
right, well, I guess I watched the wrestling match.
Yeah, Logan Paul's in WWE now. He had a match as well, and he was pretty dang good.
Ah, well, that's good. But yeah, I don't think last time I watched wrestling was ages ago.
Yeah,
Like with my mate Duncan, he loves wrestling.
I'm glad you got to watch Joe Hendry though. That's funny.
And my final highlight is I started listening to, because I got a bunch of these free audio books, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've listened to, let's see, like how to make money, how do businesses work, how to something else, and I skipped the politics one because the politics one just started off really boring, and I started listening to sociology, the book of sociology, and oh my goodness, that was friggin'. I haven't finished it. I don't know if I will. It's just painful. Like it's really painful because it's just sociology is essentially these people basically guessing. Like,
yeah, guesswork.
it's not entirely guessing, but it's all theorized and it's all
Predicting.
theories. And then it's like, oh, this proves my theory because this happened in this society or this happened
Clearly.
in this society. Like the whole concept of the people coming with like gender theory and the fact like people, you know, you can be a male, but you can be female, or you can what is it called? Gender
Association.
I forget. What's it called?
Gender association.
Yeah, that sort of thing. It's it basically stems down to people in other cultures had different gender roles or different like ideas of gender compared to Western. So therefore Western idea of gender ideology is wrong or something. And majority of these people that write these things are basically anti-capitalists, and and a lot of them are Marxists. And every single bloody one of them is a university professor of sociology.
Oh, supposedly.
Well, yeah, and they've written a bunch of books, or this person wrote a book about this, and it's just a broad recap of sociology as a whole. So it's mentioning all these different professors and people and books they've written and things about society and like upper class and middle class and lower class and the difference between all the different classes, how people move up and down, how they work in different forms of society. The one guy coined the term the McDonald's effect.
Okay.
Which is basically the dehumanization of like restaurant food. It's you know what McDonald's does. You know how like you walk in, you order your food, you leave, you get like it's all automatic, it's all processed, it's all streamlined.
Yeah.
And the bad thing about that is because you don't actually talk to the person at the counter and have a chat with them, and because they don't actually make the food the way you want it, it's just standardized.
Yeah.
It's removed the social aspect of it.
Okay.
So
yeah,
therefore, it makes you feel less human, or less, and also the person who works there feels less human.
Yeah, which is
something.
interesting because that kind of stems to, I mean, you kind of said it about it's like the Macca's sort of knock-on effect is because like Coles and Woolworths, like I go to Coles regularly and they always like when you go to the self-checkout, the person who's guarding there is like always says, "Oh, hello, how are you?" Like they try to start a conversation.
Yeah, it's because like I said, it's called the McDonald's effect. But the person, whoever the guy, the professor, like he likened it to broader other companies and other social groups and aspects of society. and the fact that everything is everything is now being so streamlined and so like automated that it takes out the human element of it, that people are starting to feel like robots.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense, like in their jobs, in their home life, in their other things. And
I mean, I don't mind. It's just because, like, there are times when if you do too much shopping that I feel like I do need to go to a checkout and get some assistance. But when I go to a self-checkout, I like to go at my own pace. And I don't know, this is something about I like bagging my own stuff.
We barely ever use the self-checkout. We don't buy as little as you. We do one shop and it's a bigger one.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
But it's very refreshing to like have the person go, "Oh, hey, how you going? Are you like, did you work today? Basically, how was work? What are you doing here at this time?" Like they're like, and you can have a little bit of a chat with them. Courtney has more of a chat with people than I do when we're shopping together, but that's because like they initiate the conversation, she continues it. I'm just in the background.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I sometimes have a chat with people, but sometimes I don't really feel like it.
Yeah, my trick is because I've got 2 kids, and if they're in the trolley, I just get them to look at the kids and pull funny faces.
Well, that's a funny thing. People love looking at Axel. Like we went to a cafe the other day, and the staff lady kept looking at him.
Oh, isn't he gorgeous?
Yeah.
Go away, it's my son. Get your own.
And it's just when you think about how like those sort of jobs work in general and that sort of thing, it's about efficiency, but again, there's no human element to it. And one of the concepts was to do with the fact that you notice how people out in the country, for example, they all know each other, they all talk to each other and all that. People in the city don't know anything. Exactly. And it's called the stranger effect.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and the idea of it is basically because everyone's in such a rush to get to where they need to go, to do what they need to do to be more efficient, they don't take time to actually talk to anyone else, and they go through so many people that it's not really worth stopping and talking to every single person that you walk past, because otherwise you'd never get anything done.
Yeah, that's right. It's hard because, like, after living in a small country town for so long, it's hard to continue that sort of attitude, like, towards random people in here in the big area, like a big city population area. Because I do tend to say hello to people, like if it's at a workplace or if it's in the shops or whatever. But I think because I've lived in Melbourne now for so long, it's kind of worn off a little bit. But there's still that part of me that insists that I must say hello and conjure up a conversation, whether it be brief or whatnot, just, you know, in lightheartedness, whatever. But
I sometimes feel a little bit bad, right? For example, I occasionally run into other tradies who I've met at other job sites and had a chat with before and all that, and I sometimes feel bad because sometimes they'll talk to me in the middle of the day, and I'm kind of like, I really want to talk to you, but I don't have time.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes I do have time, or I feel like I've got more time, so I'll stop and I'll chat, and I might chat for 20 minutes or so, depending on who I'm talking to, etc. But there was this one example where this guy, I had a nice conversation about, you know, like my kid was going to be born, and he recently had a kid, and he was telling me about how it was with his kid and all that. And then when I ran into him, I ran into him 2 more times, and he's asked me how's your son? And he remembered Axel's name and that. So how's your son? It was Axel, wasn't it? And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And it was good to see that, like, he remembered. And I was like, I really want to continue this conversation, but I have got a big day. So I humoured him for about 10 minutes or so and chatted to him, and that's when he told me about the show I need to look at, the New Zealand show written by the same guy who did The Almighty Johnsons, which was another New Zealand TV show.
Okay.
But it's just those it's just the interesting aspects of, like, when you talk to someone, how even if it's just a 10-minute conversation, you and them can remember each other, like how much of an impact you can have on a person.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. Yeah, it's funny because you mentioned about how you haven't got time. Because lately, because of WrestleMania has been on this past weekend, I've been watching a lot of reaction videos as well as watching official WWE stuff about WrestleMania. And because it was a long weekend just gone, I had so many podcast episodes in my backlog to listen to. And so the problem
Of
is,
what? WWE podcasts?
just like well, it's like my library.
Our
So I have,
podcast.
I have our podcast. I have a soccer podcast. I have obviously our go my favorite sports and distractable, and there's a few other podcast shows. So the problem I had this past week was playing all those episodes, but what I was doing was I was playing them at 1.5 times speed and 2 times speed at times. Now I want you to
I don't want to hear about that. Tell me about Caitlin Clark.
I want to give you a test. This is a soccer podcast I listen to. I'm gonna play at 1.5 times speed. I want to see if you can tell me what they say.
It's just because there's so much to unpack. Because despite what I just said there, you have to take into account their key injuries. You also have to take into account they might actually finish this season lots and lots of points lower than last season, but they might lose fewer games.
So that was 1.5 times speed.
Yep, I could understand that.
Okay, so that was what I was.
What was it? They might lose more games, but get more points
because of injuries.
Because of injuries, yeah, I heard that. Yep.
And so that's
you're doing 2 times speed.
And 2 times, baby.
Despite what I just said there, you have to take into account their key injuries. You also have to take into account they might actually finish this season lots and lots of points lower than last season, but they might lose fewer games. Yeah.
So that's what I'm like. That was me all week, just listening to podcasts, like trying to catch up. Because like at the same time, I want to get through them, but the main purpose of the podcast anyway is just to pass through the time. But I keep getting sidetracked by watching other content or listening to other content when I'm like,
I mean, you should just listen to a D&D podcast at 2 times the speed, because they say everything so much. It's done very slowly.
True. That's true. Yeah, because the whole thing about D&D,
you might actually find it interesting because they'll sometimes go like, "Oh, what was your what was the DC? It was 7. Oh, sorry, no, 8." And then they might go, "Oh, wait, was it intelligence or?" And he goes, "Yeah, no, it was a charisma check."
Forgive me for sounding silly about this, but is D&D basically just improvisation?
So it's not improvised per se, but they have the dungeon master will usually have a set plan of it's how do I explain it? It is improvised, but at the same time, there's a set plan and goal and direction.
Okay.
So the dungeon master might have like 10 different directions of where the players could go. So if the players decide to go here, leads to this scenario. If they decide to go that way, it leads to that scenario. And it's all based on what the players choose. But it's kind of like a, you know, those boards where they have the dot points and they got the connections?
It sounds like a find your own adventure type thing almost.
It is kind of
predetermined paths.
Well, it's not that there's predetermined paths, but it's more like... So the thing that makes it hard for the DMs, right, is it's an active world. Right. And so while the characters and the people playing those characters or like are traversing the world, he's also got to keep track of what's happening with other characters they have met in the world and just other characters in the world in general.
Oh, okay.
So if there's like if there's a few scenarios going on and a few, like, let's say there's a war between 2 nations, right? And the characters help one of the nations in this one battle, the DM's then got to calculate, all right, how does that affect the coming battles in that war? And how does it, butterflies? How does it butterfly?
Okay.
So that's why, but a lot of the times they have pre-set up, they can get pre-set up campaigns, but they can go in all sorts of directions.
Yeah, okay.
But I think generally the DM tries to lead the players into certain situations.
Okay.
And some things are kind of unavoidable in that regard.
Right, okay, so that's probably why there's such a big liking towards it. Because I never really got into it, mainly because it looks like it takes a long time.
It does.
And you need the people to do it with too. I
mean, I listen to Critical Role, and they do so according to some videos and things I've watched, I've seen, because I watched a couple of YouTube videos about it. People describe it. It's not quite like Critical Role's very very efficient in how they go about doing things and very streamlined and very like they've been doing it a long time. Whereas a normal campaign might take 5 hours or longer because the DM sort of got to work out what's going on as well. The players got to work out, and there's a lot more. Yeah, it sounds like it's a lot more boring, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because the other thing is too, because you can do it obviously in person, but can you do it online over webcam like this, or what? Was it not really?
So I showed you that there was that they're coming up with different role. What are they called? TCG role playing games like that online where people can do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
But I showed you that one that I downloaded, but then I realized, oh, it's not actually a game. It's actually you got to get other players. You got to do it with actual people. But people do D&D online.
Okay. Yeah. Because I'm like the longest type of game I've played outside of
A video
single player
game.
games, is like Age of Empires. Because Age of Empires, even playing single player, you lose track
Takes
of
you
time.
a good 2 hours.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's as far as I'm gonna go. I can't
Jackson,
be
you're
bothered.
supposed to go on the small map that only has the bridge across from one.
I like the one where there's a on Age of Empires 2. There's a map where you literally your village is surrounded by trees, and you have to you just basically getting a bunch of lump. This isn't my tree.
You're supposed to actually get through the lumber first.
Yes,
to actually
correct.
Continue.
Correct.
I've done that one, I think.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh,
But,
speaking of old games, I was going to bring up they sneakily dropped Oblivion Remastered.
Yes, and it's funny because
So many videos are coming out about it and
Spiffing
remakes
Brit
of things.
I don't know if you saw, but Spiffing Brit released a lot more glitch type video just as it was released, I believe.
I think it's because they when they say they remastered the game, I mean I think they basically copied
Upscale.
every aspect and just fixed
Yeah.
up the graphics and that.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if they kept in the dialogue issues, like the bad dialogue that people put in.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Because there's a couple of like what are they called? Cut dialogue that got accidentally put into the game.
Oh.
So it's got a character saying, when the actor goes, "Oh, hold on,
line,
cut.
line, yes.
Line," or "I think I could do this." Like it actually has, it has a bit of that dialogue. There's like a female character, and she's like I don't know, adventurer. You need to go to the cave of whispers, and then you hear, "How's that? Was that pretty good?" I think that's good. We'll leave it at that take.
I mean, you surely think that they would fix that out, but
I
never
hope
know.
they don't. I hope they keep that.
I mean, that's the thing though, because if you're gonna remaster, you gotta keep it true to self. You can't.
Exactly.
Where's the fun in that?
But I'm tossing up whether they even buy the game.
Well, yeah, I don't know what the pricing is, but like I said, because Spiffing Brit released an exploit video about it literally as the same day as the remaster released, and so I'm wondering because I don't know if you watched the video, but in his exploit video he made it so he had minus willpower, but the problem is when you minus willpower, you also lower your fatigue. And so when his fatigue went 0, the character didn't stand up. They're just ragdolled. They couldn't get up. He couldn't take potions to get back up and whatnot.
Wait, why did he lower it down so low?
There was a reason he was trying to make his character powerful, like he can one punch things essentially. His character for that exploit was called Juan Punch. So yes.
I think he's done one like that before though with the actual Oblivion.
Yeah.
I think it's a video of a remake of what he did with Oblivion. Because
It's
did he
possible.
punch a bunch of crabs with it?
No.
Okay.
No, but he did stab one with a sword at the start, and for some reason the crab was holding a fork in his inventory.
Yeah, that does ring a bell. Maybe he remade it.
I don't know.
Because
It's just-
another guy I watch on YouTube who did like little he recording with characters and that he actually remade a previous Oblivion thing that he did.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm like, I'm glad you remade your thing, but make some new content. You haven't made any content in years.
Wow. Savage.
But I'm tossing up whether I want to get the game or not because
Have you played before?
I have watched a YouTuber play a fair bit of the game, so I got a rough idea of what I know how the game works. I watched a friend of mine years ago, like we're talking like 18 maybe years ago or more. He was obsessed. He loved the game and he fully upgraded, completed everything, and he was showing off the game to me. And it's one of those things where he's showing off the game, but he's like, "Look, you can do this," and he summons a fire. I forget what it's called, the fire creature. But he summons this fire creature, and he goes, you can go here, and he randomly teleports to a location, a city, and he's like, I've got all the best gear on this high level, like, and I'm like, okay, but what's so good about this game? Like, you haven't shown me. You've shown me that you're like the highest level and you've got all the skills, but I don't know. And he goes, and I go, what do you do in the game? And he goes, you can do anything.
What?
And I'm like, that's great. What? Like what can you do?
Yeah, it doesn't sound too great when that can't be the case.
Yeah, so I never actually played the game, and then I played Skyrim and watched a couple of YouTubers play Oblivion. I was like, maybe I should play Oblivion at some point.
Maybe.
And it's really cheap now. But now that they've done the remaster, it's like I might as well just play the remastered version since it'll just be upgraded graphics.
I think that's the problem with me too, though, because when I watch other YouTubers play games, like for example, like you were saying Oblivion, like when I watch people play Tears of the Kingdom, and
It makes you not want to play it.
yeah, because I'm like I kind of experienced it, but in a way that I don't mind it being like, because I think that's like there's a point where it's like video games are made because people want to enjoy it, but there's also people want to watch people play it, and
Well, it's sort of a catch-22. I never heard of Fallout 4
yeah,
until I watched Team 4-Star play it. I'd never played Fallout, thought about any of the Fallout games, and then I watched them play Fallout 4, and I watched them play like it was 42 episodes of them playing the game, and these are hour-long episodes.
yeah, okay.
And they drink while they're playing, so they're getting more pissed each episode.
yeah, nice.
In fact, in one of them, it has one of them just scull a bottle of whiskey at the end. Like, they were that pissed at the end of that episode. It was the funniest thing.
Nice.
But it made me go, oh, maybe I should play Fallout, see what Fallout's like. And I played Fallout and, copied a couple of the stuff they did, and then I went off in my own direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Because, I don't know. Continue, sorry.
But the problem is Oblivion, right? It's fine in American money. It's only $45 American, but it's like $89 AUD.
Yeah, I
$84.
think, yeah, I think
technically.
that's gonna be the way of the future now, because now we've got better hardware.
Oh wait, hold on. I can get Elder Scrolls what is it? 4 Oblivion Remastered Deluxe Edition for $99. Now, I don't mind paying $100 for that's a standard here in Australia to pay $100 for a game. It's weird for Americans.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what big games are going to be $100? I've never heard of a game being $100. Well, here it's always $100.
Well,
In fact, if anything, with the price conversion, it should be more.
Yeah, so I'll give you a quick example, right? So the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out in June. Mario Kart Worlds, which is going to be one of the launch games for it, is priced at $79 American, and it's going to be priced as $89 or $99 here in Australia.
See, that's pretty good here in Australia.
But like most Switch games, like for the current console, they are usually about $79. Yeah, roughly, or $70. Where in America it's usually like $60. And so if you looked up Mario Kart Worlds, and then all you'll see is drop the price. Because people,
or people could just not buy the game, and then the price would drop.
Well, the problem is, the thing is, right? It's Nintendo. People are gonna they're gonna use their voice, but then they're still gonna go buy the game.
I know. Well, then don't complain about it then.
Yeah, I know.
I don't understand about a world where people complain about something and then
go and do it.
And then go, oh well, I'll just guess my whining didn't cause them to drop the price.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. This isn't my world.
Man, they took your job. They took your darn.
I'm sure, like with all your soundboards, you could like put them all together to make like a scene.
You'll love this one. I finished this one just before. This was the first one I did, and it was the most important one. And it
Go on.
Damn it, they took my job!
What? They took his job.
That's it. It's just that. It's just...
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh, well.
But yeah, I'm sitting there thinking, do I want to pay like $89 or 99 for the deluxe edition of a game that's not even a new game? It's a remake.
Yeah.
Like, how much is Oblivion? Like,
Wasn't there DLC in Oblivion originally as well?
yeah, well, yeah, there was, I believe.
So
Yeah.
the thing is, right, is with the remaster, are they going to throw in the DLC or is it going to be?
Probably comes with, maybe it comes as extra. So
Yeah.
the Oblivion base game is $20 on Steam, but you can probably get it for a Steam key for like $5 somewhere else or something.
Yeah.
Oblivion Remastered is only $14.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on. Remastered Elder Scrolls. Why is there multiple remasters? Hold on, let me have a look at this. Deluxe edition. Oh, why does that only say $15? Downloadable content. This content requires base game. There you go. The deluxe upgrade is $15 for the new Oblivion game. Remastered Oblivion.
Would it be worth it though?
I don't know. That's the problem.
Hmm.
But the original Oblivion is like $29 for the Game of Year edition. For the base game, which the Game of the Year edition comes with all the upgrades. The base game
was Oblivion
is
Game of the
$20.
Year?
There's a Game of the Year edition, yes.
So I'm assuming it did win Game of the Year at some point.
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, so the Game of the Year edition is $19, right? The Game of the Year edition plus the DLC is $29. Includes the 9 DLC are like $10, so it's $1 a DLC.
Right.
So, but I'm looking at it going like, why would I get the remastered one when I can probably get, and this is just directly off Steam, so it's probably actually cheaper with a Steam key. It's probably like $5. So why would I? And it's the exact same game, just upgraded graphics and probably better UI.
Yeah, which is you might as well just play the older game. It seems like the remasters, like especially with like Pokemon games, like the Pokemon game remasters on Switch have drawn a lot of criticism for not really replicating that same sort of nostalgia feel. But then again, when you take a 2D game like Pokemon Diamond Pearl, put it into a 3D world,
game.
yeah, it's just obviously it's going to not be the same at all. And
well, think about with Pokemon. What have they? If they've remade Red and Blue and Yellow, like
Fire Red, Leaf Green, and then
twice.
Let's Go, yeah,
they've remade those games twice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a bad idea because new generation, like when you think about when we were kids, those games were new when you played them, and then when we were teenagers, Leaf Green or Fire Red when it came out, so that means there'd be kids who were like 5 who were playing them, and now that we're like it's 15 years later, etc., you release a new version, you release Let's Go, or whatever it is.
Yep.
So it does kind of make sense to remake certain games for people. It's just we're at a point in time when video games were brand new. Like when we were younger, they were a new thing.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on a Super Nintendo, so yeah.
Yeah, so the fact is, people our age will be looking at it like, why did they remake this game like 5 times? But it makes perfect sense because you remake it every 5 or 10 years. Because 5 or 10 years later, there's a new kid being born who wants to play like a kid's game.
Sorry, you made me
not
think.
A kid's game, but you know what I mean.
Because one of the first games I played was Super International Cricket on the Super Nintendo. So I'm like, where's my remake of Super International Cricket?
Oh, yeah, is it there? There's got to be. Isn't there like 2020 or something? 2020 games?
There's so many cricket games now. I couldn't tell you which one's
Big Bash
which.
cricket game?
Yeah, I don't know.
Look at how many bloody Tony Hawks there are.
Yeah, well, actually, because it's weird because So I don't get the logic about this game, but oh wait, no, hold on. Oh, I know, never mind. Because they remastered 1 and 2, put it together into one game, and then they're doing it with 3 and 4 into one game, which is great. But
of what? What are these games?
So Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, they remastered them into one game.
That's right.
And number 3 and 4 have been remastered into one game as well.
Oh,
that's good.
How'd they do that? Because 3 and 4 were very different.
but they were also very good.
No, but they were very different games.
They were.
Like,
Yes.
like 3 was my favorite out of 1, 2, and 3, and it basically 3 was the upgraded version of 1 and 2. Like, it was the final product, and then 4 they completely flipped the script and changed things around.
Yeah.
And they focus more on the ability to grind, run around, and do quests, and all that. I think my favorite was Tony Hawk Underground.
Yes, because I think number 4 was the last game before they did the Underground series.
Oh, was it Underground the one where you
You could walk.
Yeah, you could walk. That's right, and you like one of the final missions is you go over the helicopter,
Yes, that's right. Yes.
and then your friend betrays you, and you have to get the footage off him and skate around your hometown.
There was, I can't remember if it's the first Underground or the second Underground, but there's a Sydney level,
Probably
the Bondi level. I think it's Bondi actually. It's
It
Bondi.
is Bondi. It's Bondi. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a character you play as a wheelchair.
I didn't even realize that at the time when I played it. Like, I remembered seeing. No, there was a wasn't one of the tournaments in Bondi or something. No,
I can't remember. Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Oh.
there's a bowl there right next to the beach.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Anyway, my main point is I'm not sure whether I want to get the Oblivion remastered or not.
Yeah, that's fair.
It feels kind of worth it, but also it feels like maybe I'll just wait until the price drops, like I'm going to do with Civ 7.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do the same thing with Nintendo Switch too, but my FOMO might be like, hey, just go and buy it.
I don't think you'll be able to do it, Jackson, because you think you think they haven't even dropped. What are the prices of a Nintendo Switch now?
A
Brand new one.
Oh, the current console
The current
one.
one, yeah. The current.
The current
Switch.
one is, I think it's 400.
So it's gone down $100 in the past. What?
Yeah.
How long's the
think
Switch
so.
been out for? Like 6
2017. 2017.
So what's that?
8 years.
8 years. 8 years, and the price has gone down. What? 200, 100.
Not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just goes to prove that they keep their price to some degree.
And
But-
you know what? I don't know about that. I think it's Nintendo knowing that people are willing to pay. But
Yeah.
did you see how like the Nintendo's response to people talking about how that's too expensive? They're like, oh well, just play your regular, just play with your first Switch then. Don't buy the new one.
Well, the biggest problem is we've been playing the same Mario Kart game for nearly 10 years. So, yeah, I think.
Then you should stop playing Mario Kart after 10 years.
Well, that's the thing though, because the new ones.
Mr. A-Game needs more content. He needs more content. He's finished. He's done with Zelda. Wind Waker's not Wind Waker. What is it?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Breath
He's
of the
run
Wild.
out. He's run out of ideas for Tears of the Kingdom. He needs a new Zelda game.
I mean, I really like the fact that the Mario Kart is going to be open world. That's going to be fun.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I heard that. Yeah, that's great. Open world car game. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
I definitely haven't done that before. Need for Speed, this one, for Speed that, Need for Speed that, Gran Torino.
If you think about it,
is it Gran Torino? What is it
Diddy
called?
Kong Racing.
Toronto, Diddy Kong Racing. But hey, at least you finally get an open world Mario
Kart game.
Mario Kart, but you can go off the track.
And then you
Mario-
can race from circuit to circuit on the highway.
Welcome to Welcome to MGA, Mario Grand Theft Auto, where you can get out of
Coming
your car
soon.
and punch feet. I'd love to see that. I guarantee you, Mario will be able to get out of his car.
we got to get. So the stupid meme is we're going to get Mario Kart GTA before we get GTA 6. That is the current meme format. If something strange happens, it's always like, "Oh, this such happened before."
We got this
GTA
before
6.
GTA 6.
Yeah. So yeah. But anyway.
But yeah, that's my other highlight is deciding whether to get Oblivion. Well, not really highlight, just a thought.
Just an afterthought. Yeah. So wait. Oh, I should get you to watch more WWE then, just for one more time. That'd be
Should
fun.
you get me to watch more?
Yeah, a little bit more.
I don't know. I feel like
Disappointed!
is what
No,
I
no,
feel.
I would be disappointed if you didn't watch. Probably.
Why do I care?
about they took your jobs?
Why do I care? Damn it, they took my job! Why do I care? Oh man, they took your job?
The South Park you can just, with the yeah, that's
Disappointed!
I got one. Hold on.
Wait a
Okay.
minute.
Why do I care?
Wait.
Wait a minute.
Oh man, they took your job? They took your job. They
Wait a minute.
I can't find it. It was
I was hoping you'd say, "Why would I care?"
yeah. Hold on. It's meant to be this. It's meant
Wait
to
a
be.
minute.
Why do I care?
They took your job.
Oh man, they took your job? They took
Disappointed. It's just there's so much going on right now. Again,
Hold on,
guys,
hold
if you want to watch
Damn it,
this
they took
live,
my job!
check out the.
How's that one?
Sure, that works. At the moment, we'll be using soundboards to do our intro.
wait, I've got a good one.
Okay.
All right, listen.
I stroke my pickle.
Disappointed!
As opposed to what?
And it's gone!
Disappointed!
My pickle's gone.
Oh my god. I got one more.
Okay, sure.
Gay.
Hold on. Yeah, that's it.
I'm gay.
Disappointed!
He strokes his pickle.
All right.
Well, I'm out, guys.
Yeah.
That's what's cool now. I
Good
think I'm
timing.
done. I no longer have any connection to this world. I'm gonna go home and kill myself.
Oh,
Disappointed!
All right, I'm
sure.
done.
We need to edit that once there's a bleep in it. Because then it could be anything. It could be anything. All right, check out our YouTube channel when we live stream these podcasts, and otherwise check our socials. We don't have any, but if we did, check them.
If we had them.
Bye.
Well, that sounds like something you should do, and I should tell you to do as the one and only producer.
Who am I?
I don't. Yeah, let me. I can't edit it.
Haha.
I can edit mine, but I can't edit yours.
Correct. Goodbye. Farewell.
All right.